This is the information, and this is the instructions how to do the Dee Kit. The Dee Kit is named after one of my very, very best friends, Dee Rug. She has the original mat that I did many years ago. I have in the past done a few kits, but it seems I'm finding things that I really don't remember that I have. So when I unpacked a box, I found these two pieces. They were an antique quilt that I had taken apart years ago. So I decided that the only kit that would work for this would be the Dee Kit. And I'm going to do as many as I can get from this backing, from the quilt backing. And it's going to be about 16. I measured it out, and I have 16 on the website for sale. Now, if you do not like very, very tattered, old and worn stains, because this is going to have the stains with it, I'm using every piece. I'm not cutting around the stains. So this will be the base. And it's very, see if I can find an opening. It's tattered, very tattered here, and it's very thin, which is what the Dee Rug is supposed to be. So this will be the base. I measured, I can get 16 out. This was the top of the quilt. So these long pieces that are in the quilt, this one and this one, are going to be the binding that I'm sending. I'm going to darken the binding pieces. It's an inch binding. It's a very small binding, and I'll show you how to do that. But I really like a binding, especially in a light piece, to be dark. It sort of frames the rug, I think. So this is the fabric, very, very old, soft, worn. Your base and your binding, and then I am going to cut the pennies from very nice old wool. And these are all the colors. I do need to add a few light colors. So I have all of this ready to go, and I'm not going to cut it until I sell the kits, because I don't want a lot of pennies in a certain size that I'm not going to need. There's more. Pretty. So I have all of the wool ready to cut, and I have the quilt ready to cut. I'm just not going to do it until I have kits sold, because I don't want to waste it. So that is the parts of the kit. I will show you the string later. The kit has everything included. Everything's cut. So now I'm going to show you in the next part of the video actually how to do the rug, because I'm not going to send it a lot of instructions with this. I do have an instruction sheet, but really, I mean, what can I say? A video is much better. So I will get ready, and we'll put the kit together. So you'll receive the base. You'll receive your 1-inch binding. This is not the binding. This is just something that I found that I'm going to use as an example. This is the actual piece that I cut from the quilt. You're going to receive thread. I'm hoping that I'm going to be able to use this. I'm going to try and have it lighter, but definitely the thin thread. And you're going to have your pennies. So this is how you put it together. It's a bit different than I usually do, and I got the idea when I did the David Star. And if you've watched the David Star, how I did the outside and then fill it in. I like that much better than, say, doing it this way and neatly filling in like that. I really don't like that anymore in a kit. So this is how we will do it. You need a 1/2 inch to attach your binding. Your binding will be a 1/4 inch binding, but you will need a 1/2 inch here. So just put it here, and just as we did, and you need a 1/2 inch here. I wonder if I can skew my board around a bit. There. Okay. So 1/2 inch. There. You're also going to need a 1/2 inch here, but I'll just judge that. So I'm just going to, it's 7. I'm just going to put them the same as we did with the David Star. We're going to do the outline, and then we're going to fill in and adjust. Bring it up. The cotton is a bit tricky because it's there. That would be my last one there. I have more than a 1/2 inch there, so that's fine. I can adjust those out a little bit. The point is, you don't want it to look perfect. 1/2 inch again, and just follow it down. What does need to be quite straight, and I didn't mention that on the David Star, is this outside edge, because this is where you're going to put your bindings, or you're going to finish the edge, and you don't want it to go in and out. There is a picture of the 1, 2, 3, 4, 5, 6. So now I have to scoot those up a bit. There's a picture, a photo of the original David Star, and as you'll see on the edge, it's one penny is here, another penny is up there. So you have to watch that when you're doing these type of things to get fairly even edging. It doesn't have to be totally exact, but it shouldn't be wavy. So, really very simple. I don't have a lot of the smaller pennies cut, and I do need some more light colors in these cut, but I didn't want to cut too many right now because I don't know if they're going to be 1, 2, 3, 4, 5, 6. So that 7 would go there. This has to scoot over. You have this, then you just fill it in, and you have lots of area in this one. Just put your pennies on. Now, this one has to come down a bit, so need 2. So you just move them around until you get, okay, that's 4. Now if you move your outside edge, position in here how you want them, and then if you do move your outside edge before you actually put them down to stitch, just check it. It doesn't have to be exactly a ½ inch. You start out with a ½ inch and then you fill in, but as long as these are straight, that's what you're you're aiming for. So those are a little out. Push it in a little bit. Do this way. There. So you notice that they're not that way that you interlock, and I really like that. I like that much better than just having something that's too perfect. Now, up on this top edge, I'm going to have to fix this part. I'm going to have to move these down a bit. Try not to move them out of this way, but just down a bit so that I can get this one with a good edging around it. And that's how you do it. You just work with them, work with your colors. Do not try not to have 2 colors close together. Now those, let's see, can you see that? It's so difficult to talk and do the camera too. I have 2 colors the same, so I'll switch. Maybe put that there, that one here. 2 colors almost the same. I'd switch that. I'd go in and get something different. So once you have that done, you would stitch that bottom penny first. Double check before you put your tape on, and I would use Scotch tape to hold these down. Even if you're doing the stapler or the needle felting or whatever else you do, that's a bit out, so we're going to have to fix that a little bit. Make sure you have these as straight as you as you can get them, and use the tape to secure them, and then you go in and do your basting, your stapling.